Welcome to, or back to, Forgotten Hollywood, the channel where I take you back in time to show you the movies, shows, and actors that have faded over the years. In the 1920s, actor Lon Chaney was called the Man of a Thousand Faces. Well, I would like to introduce you to his successor. Ross Martin may not have had as many acting credits as Chaney, but his roles were memorable in their variety. This was a man who played an Italian opera singer, an Austrian professor, a British noble, an Irish freightman, a French art critic, a gentleman, and a street preacher, all in the span of only 1 year. How did he do it? Let's find out. Ross Martin was born Martin Rosenblatt in 1920 to a Jewish couple in Poland and moved to New York when he was just a few months old. There he attended school, graduated cum laude from City College of New York, and got a law degree from the National University School of Law.
I'm going to ask you, and I know you don't like me to ask it, but I want to remind my friends of all this education you've had. And I don't get, just tell me, is it true you had a law degree?
Yeah, I went to law school. I had scholarship at law school, and I went for it.
And you flunked it.
I know, I didn't flunk the scholarship. I did all right.
You passed it.
Yeah, I passed it.
Then you turned out to be an actor.
I turned out to be an actor, and just lucky, I guess.
Yes, after gaining all these academic achievements, Martin became an actor. You see, he had a certain talent that could not be ignored, the gift of language. English was not his first language, which is common for a young immigrant, and Martin spoke Polish, Yiddish, and Russian before learning English. And this was likely before he started school in New York. By the time he began his acting career, he had added French, Italian, and Spanish to the list, bringing the number up to 7 languages he spoke fluently. In addition to this, he mastered over 100 dialects, making him perfect for radio. No one listening would have been able to tell that so many of the characters they were following in their programs were done by one man.
I want a huge lobster and any vegetables you've got.
Senor.
The same.
To lobster
The
and...
way she eats, you'd never think she blew up a couple of days ago, would you, Jose?
What is this blew up?
Oh, it's nothing, Jose. I was down.
Listening to the programs myself, I told a friend I was playing the game, Which Voice is Ross? With his range, it can be hard to tell. I'd like to give a shout out here to his modern successors, Frank Welker and Jim Cummings, who between them have voiced hundreds of iconic cartoon characters over the years. Martin's voice served him well in radio, and at one time he was performing 3 daytime serials at once, and up to 8 programs at one time on different networks. Eventually, he got his own radio show, The Ross Martin Show. In 1949, Martin landed his first on-screen role in an early television series based on a radio show, as many of the popular shows at the time were. In 1955, he moved to the big screen and his star grew brighter. His talent with language, coupled with his almost Mediterranean coloring, allowed him to take a wide variety of roles: Americans, Italians, Frenchmen, Spaniards, Eastern European, and so on.
Madam Cartwright, this is my brother Hoss.
How are you, sir? There you are, Mr. Bianchi. Buy that young boy a new guitar.
In this wild country, nobody cares about la musica. Only to fight, to fight. No.
Oh, I don't know, Mr. Bianchi. My brother Adam there, he cares a great deal for music.
You play?
No, I play at it.
He was a casting director's dream, which brings us to 1965. This was the year Martin had his biggest roles. It started with The Great Race. Martin played Baron Rolf von Stoop, a dignified European nobleman who served a very silly royal. The success of this film and Martin's role put him on the radar of television producers. They were casting for what is arguably the first steampunk television show ever. James Bond on horseback, if you will. And they needed someone to play the sidekick to Robert Conrad. They brought the role to Martin, and he said no. He had played sidekicks before, and he wasn't interested in the role of second fiddle, not at that stage of his career. So they adjusted the role, made it bigger, and he still turned it down. So determined were they to get this actor for their show that they adjusted the character again, made him a full partner in the team, and only then did Ross agree to do the part. And what a part it was. In the show, The Wild Wild West, Martin was cast as Agent Artemus Gordon of the Secret Service. In the earlier James Bond analogy, he would have been Q if Q was a field agent.
I found the bomb.
A billiard ball. He stole that idea from me.
Artemus was a brilliant inventor that made all the gadgets used by the pair. He also designed short-range scuba gear and built a model of an early tank.
I've designed this thing so that it'll hold 5 minutes worth of oxygen in the reservoir, Jim. Think of that! 5 minutes underwater, submerged, and you'd still survive. That is, if somebody was trying to drown you.
What if it doesn't work?
Bring it back, I'll make you a new one.
He was truly ahead of his time, which worked well for the steampunk feel of the show.
Artie, how do you plan to escape?
Oh, in the usual way. Guile, cunning, trickery.
However, it was his gift for languages that made the part a show-off's role, for Artemus was a master of disguise. In total, Martin played 126 characters in addition to Agent Gordon, once using 4 disguises in a single episode. Sometimes he would switch characters mid-scene. Only someone with his range could have pulled it off.
What in the devil are you doing in my office? I said, what in the devil are you doing in my office?
Oh, no, it's not my office at all. It belongs to one of the government big shots.
But then, in the 4th season, disaster struck. Martin had a heart attack that put him out of commission for weeks. Guest stars had to be brought in as other agents for 9 episodes to cover for him while he recovered. When he got back, his role was lightened so as not to cause more stress on his body. That season would be the last, as the show, though popular, was deemed too violent for television. Martin would never have a starring role again. No producer or director was willing to risk his life by having him overexert himself. He still acted in small parts here and there, in addition to appearing on some celebrity game shows. Twice he teamed up with Robert Conrad again to return to the Wild Wild West for reunion movies. His final film role was as a German immigrant in I Married Wyatt Earp.
I'm back.
Yeah. You and me, we met, when you were still just a little girl, or maybe so high.
Then, on July 3rd, 1981, Martin suffered a fatal heart attack after a game of tennis. He was laid to rest in Mount Sinai Memorial Park Cemetery, a simple marker for such a master of his craft. Few actors can rival the talent of Ross Martin. I can count the number of ones I know of on one hand, and none of them can match his gift for language. He was truly one in a million, but we can still enjoy his contribution to the arts from the various shows, movies, and radio programs he left behind. For the stars of Hollywood may dim or fade, but they will never really go away. Thanks for watching. Have you enjoyed any of Ross Martin's roles? If so, which ones? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy this sort of content. Also, click that bell to receive notifications. Let me know if there is another actor you believe deserves a tribute, and I will catch up with you next time.